Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Look, I got my nieces with me today. This is a special day. I got my nieces with me. I got Anaya and Chloe. Anaya and Chloe, y'all say hello.
Hi.
And see, now they all trying to act all shy, like they're not loud and crazy and full of energy. Hi. And so, look, special situation. We had a prom night last night, so I went to my brother's house to do the prom pictures. Y'all know I got the photography and the skills. So I did the photography for my niece. We're going to unleash those pictures a little bit later today, if not tomorrow morning, but we're going to get them done. And you see me down here on the floor because this setup is not set up the way it is. And I'm on my knees. And y'all know these, when you get up here, them knees be hurting. Them knees be hurting. So my knees is hurting. So I was there last night. And after the pictures, everybody surrounding us, and they was like, "Oh, can we go to Uncle and Jay house? Can we go to Uncle and Jay house? Please, can we go? Can we go?" And I was like, "No, no, no. Oh, please." And Chloe was like, "I want to go too. I want to go too." And so we wound up being here. We wound up eating what we have last night? Chinese food and watching. What was that movie we watched all night? Encanto. So we sitting there watching Encanto. And so we had a good time last night. We had a good time. Y'all say hello to your father if your father watching.
Hi.
Where you at, Betty? You know what I'm saying? And so we have him up here. And so when we woke up this morning, I was supposed to be going to church to help live stream, or I was going to, of course, do live stream here. And so we was driving back and forth, and somebody woke up and was like, "Excuse me, can I have me some cereal?" And y'all know I'm not keeping no cereal up in here. Oh, wait. Hello, beautiful nieces. Oh, that's Aunt Is that? Oh, okay. Let's Sandra. Hey, say hey to my friend. Say hey. Say hey. She on the chat. You see the chat? So look, and then look. What we found out that anybody watching on Facebook, if you say anything in the chat, what I discovered that all my Facebook chats go to YouTube, which I didn't know. So yes, please, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you what? Wait, let me get it right. You like, you comment, and you share. Make sure you do all of that. Like, comment, and share. I think I did that with the wrong one, but if you're watching us on YouTube, please, hit the subscribe button. So anytime that we go live, you know what I'm saying, you're always there. All right? And so we got the nieces up in here. We had a good time that last night. Everybody, man, they were sleeping hard. I didn't realize they both snore. They both snore. And so we woke up this morning. We had some breakfast. We went and got some breakfast. We got some cereal. They tried to get me to, what was that cereal you picked out? What was the first cereal y'all picked out? Some
Cookie cereal.
some cookie cereal. I'm like, we don't eat cookies. Yo, Benny, man, that sugar cereal, man. You know mommy ain't raised us on no sugar cereal. You know what I'm saying? You got them eating sugar cereal. And so,
Reese's Pieces.
the Reese's Pieces. What type of cereal they making? We like, no.
It's good.
It is good, but it ain't always healthy. Oh. Right, so we got some Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know how many people y'all eat Honey Nut Cheerios, because my mama raised us on some Cheerios. When they came out with Honey Nut Cheerios, we were killing it. So, of course, this setup is different. We're not used to the setup, and so we thank you, for bearing with us, everybody, bearing with us. And so I told myself, well, you know what, if we ain't going to church, we're going to at least have church, and we're going to talk about it, have a conversation. So can we have a conversation, y'all?
Yeah.
And they sit up in here like, oh, we scared. So now before the lights come on, they get all scared, right? Oh, that wasn't you, Cleo? Huh? Chloe, that wasn't you, Chloe?
No.
Yo, you sure that wasn't you? Who was saying that they were scared? Oh, wait. Oh, why are you looking away? Are you still? Wait, did you say I'm going to hold your hand? Y'all hold their hands? Let me see. Are y'all holding hands? No. Oh, yeah. So we said we were going to get up here and talk about, we're going to have a conversation about a topic. And yesterday we were talking about school and we were talking about everything else. And so when I realized that, you know what, we're going to be here. So let us just be here. And I said, well, let's just do a conversation. All right. And so we good? Y'all ready? Can I get a pound? Y'all ready? I said, now, yo, B, I ain't seen you check in or nothing yet, Benny. So you better be checking in. We called you, so you better be here, supporting your daughters. You know what I'm saying? But again, they got like my little tiny faces up in there. I look at them. I always see my mom. You know what I'm saying? I see my grandmother on my stepdad's side. I always see in their faces. I always see the ancestors. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's funny that we talk about ancestors. So she came here and she saw my crystal skull, right? And she was like, "Oh, I don't like the crystal skull." And then, of course, that was an opportunity for me to sit down and teach Chloe something a little bit different in regards to what Africans use skulls for. Now, of course, in European society, they use them to scare you. But they, for us, were signs of wisdom from our ancestors. So skulls are, in the African spirituality, African culture, it's a sign where you can sit down and tap into. It's a reminder that you come from a lineage of wisdom, of wise individuals. And so when you see your ancestor skulls, it's not just anybody's skulls. When you see your ancestor skulls, it's supposed to reflect the wisdom that they give you when you have your ideas and your visions and everything else, right? So now today we said we want to talk about being still. Oh, who likes to be still? Raise their hand. So when you be still, oh, that's right. Here's the question: when you're in school, which one of y'all likes talking while y'all in school? Who talks a lot? Raise your hand if you talk a lot. Now, when you say being still, what does that mean when you say be still? What do you think that means to you? It means not moving and just sitting there. So when you're being still, are you doing anything?
Like, I fidget. Whatever, have to sit down. I just fidget.
Why are you whispering? Because you always talk loud, but this is the whenever it's.
I'm not whispering.
Okay. So now, did you know being still? When I was writing up the title, it was like what what was the title of it? Can you see it? Read it.
Be still, kids.
Is what?
Be still,
kids. Right? But look at the title of the thing. Be still. What the greatest what?
Action word. Action
word. Do you know being still is an action? How do you know it? Okay, so I'm gonna challenge the question. Don't say yes if you don't know. So do you know being still is an action?
Yes.
So when you're being still, what's the action that you're doing?
Like you're being
What's the action? Huh?
still.
Okay, right. Now in being still and not moving physically, it's still a movement. So a lot of times when if your teacher is talking in the classroom, right? And she's like, kids, be still. After you be still, what is she asking you to do why is she asking you to be still?
Because she's teaching.
Right. Woo. Say it again.
Because she's teaching.
Right. So she's teaching something to be still. When she says be still. So now when she's teaching something, what other things are you using to find out what she's teaching? What are the faculties? What are your faculties?
Using like I just fidget when I.
Okay, you're fidgeting with your hands now. But when she's saying being still, is she asking you to look at her?
Yes.
Right. So then what are the one faculty that you use when she says be still? What is the first thing that you realize you got to do? You got to look at, you got to be still, but you got to look, right? You got to look at your teacher. So you're looking at her. So you're using that faculty. Your faculties are your senses. Your eyes, your nose, your ears, sometimes your taste or your sound or your speech, right? So when you're being still, you're actually looking at what she wants you to do, correct? Yes. Right? So now when she's doing something, what is she doing? Is she writing on the board or something? Y'all gonna see me move a lot because these knees are old. So when she says be still, what does your teacher normally do?
She teaches and writes on the board.
She teaches and she writes on the board. So now when she writes, are you reading what's on the board?
Yes. And we have to take notes.
Whoa! Another faculty, another action. When you're being still and she's writing on the board, you have to do what?
Take notes.
Take notes. Wow. Okay, we're about to have a powerful learning session here, y'all. So first you're looking, and now you're taking notes. So now, but if she's speaking, what other thing that you're doing if she's speaking to you?
Listening.
Whoa. So now, so we have looking, we have writing, taking notes, and then you're listening, right? Oh, so now what happens if you have a question with something that you don't understand? What else happens? You raise your hand, right? Because raising your hand is a form of trying to get her attention, right? So when you get her attention, do you ask your question?
Yes.
So now you're speaking. So even though she says be still, oh, these knees are killing me, we coming up a little bit. Which way? I gotta move this way, right? I gotta move this way, okay? So that's good. So now when she asks you to be still, right? So you find yourself looking, you find yourself listening, you found yourself taking notes, right? And then if you have a question, you find yourself raising your hand to ask the question, right? Yes. And so now that's an exchange. Even though she said be still, there's a lot of action going on. So in that process of being still in the classroom, when she says be still, are you learning?
Yes.
Are you learning, Chloe?
Yes.
Are you learning, Anaya?
Yes.
And so what is your best subject? What's your best subject? In school, what's your best subject, Chloe?
Science.
Wow, she said that yesterday. What's your best subject?
Same thing,
science. Now I remember where when you had some issues in school and you had to come over here and I had to tutor you, and that was like a super amazing experience. I keep trying to tell you, brother, get the videotape so we can show it to the people. So now being still, when you deal with spirituality, you deal with church, you deal with growth, you deal with development. A lot of times in the church they say be still. I'm trying to get in the middle. Yeah, my knees feel better right here. So now the times they tell you being still, right? And so in church they say be still, for I am God. And so sometimes when you have questions or you haven't gone through hard times or difficulties or challenges, being still is an action. It's the greatest action ever. So when somebody, come on kids, be still, because that means that there's something coming behind that. There is a lesson coming, there's learning. So when you're being still, you're actually using your eyes. When you're actually being still, you know what I'm saying? You're using your ears. When you're being still, you're taking your notes. And so in God, when we're talking about be still, when you have a question of things going and we're trying to teach you how to connect to your ancestors and how do you connect to the Creator. When we say how, the easiest way to connect to God, the ancestors, and the Creator is being still. Because in that space, when you be still, you can hear your thoughts. Like, who draws? Anybody draws? Anybody creates something? Who's creative?
Sierra.
Oh, see, oh, what? See, y'all sister be, and for real, both of them. What was the last time what was the last thing y'all saw them create? And those are the two older sisters. For those who don't know, how I think CC is 18 and 16, so they're watching their bigger sisters, right? So when you're watching your bigger sisters, what do you watch them do when they're being creative? What did you see them create? Is it drawings? Are they drawing? Are they writing? Okay. Are they coloring? Are they painting? Wait, and then you got your dad. You know what I mean? Your dad is creative. What is he always doing? Always making music. And so when you're being still, that's where your creative juices come out. Right? So when was the last time you was creative? What did you create anything? Did you do anything in school? Did you do any projects in school?
Yeah.
What was the project you did in school?
It was a color by number.
Color by number. So each color had a number. And so when you looked at the color, and you had to pick the different colors. So what was the picture when you completed it?
It was a bird. A bird from
the bird. Is that why you watch that movie all the time? And Kantu?
I barely even watch it.
So you were singing?
Yeah.
When you were singing? Well, I heard you singing last night watching Kantu.
Yes.
Right, and that was like that's just your joint. She was getting it. She was like, oh, what? And what was that? We don't talk about Bruno. Y'all better watch Kantu. Wow. Y'all look at Disney gives so many great movies where this young lady was trying to find out whether or not she had a gift, and in the end, did she have a gift?
Yes.
What was the gift? Oh, forget you. What was the gift? It was just the gift of being heard.
Yeah.
You feel me? Sometimes you don't have to have. Some people sing, some people dance, and everybody had magic, but it was you are a gift. And sometimes you don't get that gift until you figure out how to be still. She had to go through life and go through life and go through life thinking that she was going to be a quote unquote LeBron James, you know what I'm saying, or somebody big and famous like it, but she was just her. So sometimes being still or going through life, using your eyes, she used her eyes, that was being still because she was listening to things, and then she was witnessing everything. Like, remember when the things were glowing and she had to put the pictures together, all the animals came together, and all of a sudden the house started cracking. She would notice things.
Oh, her gift was
looking
back in time.
Yeah.
Or in the future, right? Because she was seeing some things. But in that space, it happened when she was still. And even with everybody else, when they would walk up to the door and you would touch the doorknob was a doorway to open up into yourself. You were opening up into you. And so they touched the doorknob, and then once you touched the doorknob to open into who you are, they were standing still, and all they did was open the door. And that's the same way that life is. You have to be able to be still and open the door to yourself. And sometimes being still is not sitting without moving. It's just listening and be aware of everything. Because when you're still, you're using your eyes. When you're still, you're using your mind. That's the biggest thing. Where you going? There we go. Don't be leaning, you're disappearing. Oh. When you're still, you're using your mind, you're using your eyes. Sometimes, being still, when somebody's in the kitchen cooking and you're just standing still in the kitchen, what other faculty do you use? When you try to smell if I just said smelling. Right, when somebody's cooking, you can smell if the food smells good or smells bad, right? But you're still being still. You're not moving. You just stand there waiting to eat. Last night we went to eat. We didn't have to stand there. I didn't cook. No, I didn't cook. I went out. We got Chinese food. Where'd you slide over? Slide over. I'm sliding in front of you. I'm sorry. But being still is powerful. So the next time someone asks you to be still, you have to know that being still is the greatest action word that you could ever do. Because being still, your mind is moving. Being still, your eyes is moving. Being still, if it's something that you can smell, your senses is moving. Being still, your ears are working because you're listening in sounds. Being still, you're observing. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand and ask the question. When you're talking to the Creator, and when you're talking to God, or you're talking to your ancestors like grandma, because y'all came in there and y'all saw the altar, and you was like, and you pointed at the picture and was like, I remember her. And that was grandma. When you're being still, you can hear people talk to you. All right? And when you're being still, you can actually be creative. All right? And so in that being still and waiting for whatever, when you have an imagination, what do you want to do? What's in your imagination? What do you dream of?
Unicorns.
That's a beautiful thing. Majestic. So when you talk about growing up, what do you want to be? What do you imagine? Do you see yourself big yet? Okay. And sometimes being still is that imagination popping up. When you're in your imagination, what does your imagination show? Do you dream about anything?
Yeah.
What do you dream about? It doesn't matter what it is. She says she dreams about unicorns. And that's a creative expression, the thought. So when you're in your imagination, do you imagine it? Did you ever watch Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah.
Now, in Phineas and Ferb, what do Phineas and Ferb be doing?
Imagination.
Right, the imagination kicks in, and then they say, what? I know what I'm going to do today. And then they create something, right? And then their sister always trying to find out what they're doing. Mom! Mom! And they never get caught, right? And so in your imagination, do you ever let your imagination go wild? What do you see in your imagination? Because being still also means that you have an active imagination. And so sometimes when you choose not to be still, your imagination doesn't activate. So you got to learn how to be still to activate your imagination. Okay? Now here's a question for both of y'all. Every time I come to your dad's house, y'all yelling, can you please, Uncle Jay, can you please? Why is it y'all want to be coming to Uncle Jay's house?
Because you're fun.
It's fun. You know why? Because when I'm with you guys, I stand still. Listen, I'm always standing still. Meaning I'm watching you, I'm listening to you, I'm talking to you. I let my imagination go wild, so I express my imagination. I'm always still, even in my movement. So when I sit down and say I see my nieces, I know that they like to have fun, so I'm going to stand still and I'm going to be in that moment. That doesn't mean I'm not moving. That means I'm going to move according to everything that's happening around me. And so we always have fun. All right? And so I wanted to have children's church. I can't wait till we get back into the classroom. I'm always like, yo. When they allow the kids to come, and look, it's real talk. My brother got 5 kids. I wanted all 5 in children's church. And I was like, come on, please bring them, along with all the other people that kids. This is the first time they hear, so it's the first time they're doing this. And look, they were like scared. It's all outdoors before we went live. Am I right?
Yeah.
They were, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna say? What happens if I don't have nothing to say? If they were going off, and I'm like, okay, it's cool. That's if you don't be still, and maybe we'll get something. And so that was a quick lesson on being still. When you're being still, you're the most active. And so don't ever get mad at someone who always says, hey, kids, be still, because that is the opportunity and the time to have so much motion around you. It's just you're not just doing what you want to do. There's a difference to being still and listening versus doing what you want to do. So kids, if someone says be still, that's time to allow your mind, your eyes, right? Your ears. And if you're taking notes, that's your hands, right? All activate so that you can become whatever you need to become and absorb whatever you need to absorb in that moment. All right, can I get an amen?
Amen.
Give me a pound. Pound. There we go. Y'all give me pounds. There we go. Y'all get your own fist. Now, say hi to your parents. Say hi, Aunt Yolanda. Say, hey, Uncle Clayton. Wave. Say, hey, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? All the brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Titus.
Hey, Titus.
All right.
You have to say
Uncle Thomas. She said, hey, Titus. You say Uncle Thomas.
I said Uncle Titus.
Oh, you said Uncle Titus? Well, she can say, hey,
Hi,
Titus.
Uncle Titus.
Right, because, well, you know, Titus is always there. You know, they're closer because they're around the same age. That's a beautiful thing. Combination. This is here. I'm here with my nieces. Next time I try to do this, and again, this has never been set up, but we did it last time. Remember when we had the video games? Yeah. So we're going to try to do that one more time. And they were asking me last night when we were on our way here, could we actually set up, have the video tournament competition again, put it on camera and see who the best. So we just might do that, you know, one of these days. Yeah,
It's
what?
me, it's
What?
me.
What?
It's
What?
me.
Get
It's
out.
me.
What?
It's me.
What?
It's me.
Oh, be
So it's
still.
me.
Be still. I'm gonna beat all y'all up. I don't let nobody win. I ain't let nobody win. So if you know, you can sit down and just, okay, it's all right. Push my head if you want to. You can push my head if you want to. Yes, all right. Hopefully when they get off, they get back to their normal selves, you know what I mean, and have a good time. But being still is a powerful action. Make sure that when you're asked, when you're going to school and whether you be in the house with your parents, if someone says be still, realize that they're not actually telling you to stop. They're telling you to focus. And that's important. Focusing in life so that you can be your greatest self. All right? Are we good with that? We happy with that?
Be yourself.
Oh, go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. Do it one more thing. Do it again.
Be yourself.
There we go. Be yourself. One love.